Well, I finally built one. Is it the fastest blaster I ever built? No. Is it got the most rate of fire? No. Is it the most accurate? No. Has it almost gotten me arrested 3 times? Yes. The only blaster that has ever gotten me in trouble, remotely in trouble, or let's just say not smart, built another one. A friend of mine on my board, his name is Kevin Miller, was modding a Triad on You Now, and he was putting a Maverick spring in, and I was saying that brass barrels are really good, but I didn't have anything in example because I gave away my last one, or more like betted with the intention of losing. Why? Because this thing was crazy. I have shot at high school principals, I have shot at amusement park employees, I have shot at employees at Target, drive-thrus, you name it, okay? Sneak shot pistol right here. Range, it can do about 100 reliably. If you're got a good dart, you could do about 110, but it's made to do 100 feet with elites. It's not like a Panther, it's not, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to hide in your coat pocket, draw it, and fire it. Yes, it's a pen-loaded blaster, but the pen load is not that much. You only got maybe 3/4 of an inch for the dart to travel through brass. With this blaster, that's how much air you need, okay? If we were to take this and open this up, it has a new plant, which may actually bring down the price of the blaster at the Cartaya Modworks store, for the simple reason of it's no longer a complicated dual spring rig, as it was before. It is actually a much more simplified blaster. I didn't think it would fit in a Triad, the spring that I used, and yes, it's 1 spring and not 2. The original one was 2 springs. Let me take this out. There you go. It's an R-spec retaliator spring, 12 kilograms. They also make a 14 kilogram. I may use the 14 kilogram spring. Where do you get an R-spec retaliator spring? Well, there was a company called XTM, which was building for hobby people, and they are actually based off a company in China called Great Vigor. That's kind of weird, huh? What kind of RC car company calls itself Great Vigor? Well, that's just because in Chinese translation, that's the name of their company. Let me put this back together real quick. And because hobby people tried to make 1/8 scale electric and gas cars, it didn't fly very well. But they had a lot of spare parts for the cars. And one of the spare parts was that spring you just saw. It was what they call a 107 by 1.7 millimeter rear shock spring. The diameter is 3/4. This means that if you put it in a Triad, you gotta have the plunger sort of wear in a little bit, unless you hit it with a Dremel tool or something, and it sort of is tight. So after a while, if this thing is to fire, it will break in. But for a while, it'll be tight. What I was using before, and of course this is used on my retaliators, my messengers, and now proven works in the Triad. What I was using before was more along the lines of I was using either a 6 kilogram Vulcan spring and a 6 kilogram Orange Modworks Maverick spring, or I was using a stock Maverick spring and a 4 kilogram, which was 4 kilograms of Maverick spring, or a retaliator, what? Okay. Or an 8 kilogram Black Tactical version 2 spring, which was giving me 12. But this is twin spring. What this is, however, this is single spring. Another really great use for this blaster is as a backup to an air-powered blaster. This is an AS-10 Mag Strike. many people use mag strike pumps. So here's a great example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. Unlike a normal Triad, your darts aren't going to fall out. See that? They're in there. See? That's really brave, me pointing at my LCD. But see? So while you're pumping it, you got problems, and it's, you know, you're just shoot, and you can just go away, Roboman. I'm pumping my blaster. That's 1 hit. You're down for 15 seconds. And then when he gets up, you can, you know. You see what I'm saying? Now let's compare this in size, shall we? Let's compare this to an Ultramatch blaster. Look how much smaller that is. I mean, I can already hide this anywhere. Okay? Not to mention I could spin it. Like a single action Army Colt or Peacemaker. Not like a Schofield or Walker Colt. Those are a little too big to spin. Compared to a Retaliator. Look at that, man. And this is a Retaliator with the back end chopped off. This is a super veloce Retaliator. It can do about 90, 100 flat. Yeah, I'd say 90, 95 usually. If you're lucky, you'll get a 100-foot shot every once in a while. This thing can do better than this can. And look how small it is. Compare this to a bird of prey art. Look at this. And of course, this is a great primary. You can really brick people with this sucker. But if this thing runs out of ammo, boom, bam, they're done. You know? So, you're out in the field, right? And you're shooting at some strafers. Forgive. Not my style thing. So, I just brick this guy headshot, and his friend gets all pissed off. And he's running at me. And I was bold enough to try to shoot him with an 80. And he comes at me, the flywheel thing, and I just go, bam, gone. And if that's too much, I just throw that to the ground, and I just go, deathmatch. That's right. So, boys and girls, that is a great blaster. I just hope I don't get in trouble again. Maybe I should retain a lawyer. I don't know.